Hey, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist with the Oxford Club. I talk to people every day and they just can't reconcile what's happening in the economy and the stock market. On the one hand, we have the biggest economic contraction since the Great Depression, and tens of millions of Americans have been laid off. And there is no vaccine, and things can't get back to normal until we have one. And there's been a spike in cases, and it's become a very difficult situation to say the least. And yet, during the same time period, the S&P 500 is up 40% since the end of March, and the Nasdaq's at a record high, and Tesla's up 400%. So people go, what the heck is going on? Well, I can explain it, but to understand it really, you have to know my fire ant theory of investing. I moved to Florida in 1980, and I found that the Sunshine State has plenty to like: warm weather, beautiful beaches, sparkling lakes. However, there's one thing about Florida I did not like, and that is those nasty little fire ants. And if you live in southern climes, you already know what I'm talking about. These are tiny red ants that live in these sort of sandy mounds. And I used to think that they bit you, but actually entomologists tell us that they sting. And if you step on one of those ant mounds and they all come out and launch an attack on you, you are going to feel it. The bites hurt. And then after that, what's worse is they itch like the dickens, and not just for a little while, for days. Not long after I moved to Florida, I went out and found that there was this big old fire ant mound in my yard. So I immediately started stomping on the mound, and that caused these thousands of little ants to come out. And so I'm stomping on the ants and leveling the mound. And to top it off, I struck a match and threw it down there and set the whole thing aflame, and walked off confident that I had had a small victory against the forces of evil. So imagine my surprise the next morning when I walk out and find that the ants have completely rebuilt the mound right where it was, and in less than 24 hours. And it really kind of astounded me. But let me tell you this. If ants can rebuild something like that in 24 hours, human beings who have intelligence and creativity and entrepreneurship and innovation, and machines and engineering and science and technology and capital markets that incentivize and facilitate productive activities, we can rebuild our economy. And I think a lot of times people are just unaware of how tens of millions of hardworking men and women all pulling in the same direction can make things right again. So while the pandemic has hit us with a pretty good one on the jaw, I really think, and obviously the stock market recognizes, that things are bouncing back, and maybe a lot quicker than people expect. Now, that doesn't mean that something can't happen, that we could have a bolt out of the blue, a cyber attack, or a hedge fund blow up, or something that no one's expecting, that could cause the market to go into a sinking spell again. But right now, as I speak, market participants who are forward-looking, looking out 6 to 9 months, see that things are going to be much better. We're getting better at treating the disease. We almost certainly will have a vaccine by the end of the year, at least one. They're already making hundreds of millions of doses, so when the approval comes, they'll be shipped out immediately. And things may get better a lot sooner than most people expect. So what looks like a disconnect between the economy and the stock market is really rational, self-interested investors looking ahead and thinking things are going to get a lot better. So if you look at it that way, maybe it'll make more sense to you. Anyway, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist with the Oxford Club. I write a free weekly e-letter called Liberty Through Wealth. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Again, it's completely free. Click on the link below and sign up, and you'll be hearing my thoughts every week. Okay, thanks so much. I'll see you again soon.